Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, we had a little recovery today. A good one. So, let's talk about it. And also, let's talk about the massive upgrades that are coming, not only to Ethereum, but several other projects that you may not be aware of. And some are actually pumping quite well today. So, let's take a look at all these projects. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com. And make sure you follow all of my channels for a lot of great content. All right, guys. Welcome, guys. Hopefully, you guys are doing good. Like I said, we had a little bit of a recovery. So that's good. You can breathe a little easier. You can see that Bitcoin is back above 19,000. This morning it was like 18 something. Like, what is going on, right? So much fear over what's going on in Europe and everything else that's going on, right? So we had a little bit of recovery, so that's good. Above 19.2, but you know what? Ethereum really had a good recovery, up 6%. A lot of the ones that sold off yesterday came back up, and we're not that far off from 1 trillion market cap. And take a look, ETH dominance is skyrocketing. Bitcoin dominance at 38%, which is lower than this morning. This morning was 38.1. Now we're at 38, right? But ETH dominance is now above 20%, 20.4, right? So still a lot of hope, a lot of enthusiasm over the merge that will be coming in, about a week or so, right? But Ethereum is not the only project that's getting a big upgrade. There's actually several other projects, smaller projects, that are getting upgrades as well, and they're doing pretty well today. But before I get into that, so what's going on in the world today? What prompted this mini recovery? I mean, not that much I could see. Tomorrow's U.S. market is going to be flat, so yeah. That I don't know about tomorrow, but today we had a pretty good recovery, so that definitely did help a little bit, right? But the situation in Europe is just not getting any better. This morning I covered about DXY. Some of you guys care, some of you guys don't, but we know a lot of other countries are not doing well. That's why their fiat is not doing well. And I covered how the British pound has been losing strength against the USD. And take a look at this headline. It's the lowest level since 1985, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of currency debasing, I guess, right now that's going on right now that's causing the DXY to go up. And I did poke fun of this headline this morning, too. I said, this is a horrible plan. The EU and most of Europe is afraid of being cut off from Russia, yet they think the solution is to say, okay, let's cap the gas price, right? If we all collude and say we're going to cap how much we're going to pay for gas, that'll solve it. That'll make Russia open back up again. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And you know how Putin responded? Let Europe freeze. We will not supply any gas, oil, coal, or heating oil, right? It's like as if, putting a cap on Russian gas somehow is going to force Putin to open up. No, Putin's like, screw you guys. I'll just freeze everything. And guess who Putin is selling to? To China. And guess who China is selling to? Back to Europe at a hefty profit. That's actually what's happening right now. There's a big circle, right? And who's benefiting? Russia's benefiting. China's benefiting. But who's not benefiting is Europe right now, right? So that's still happening. And, it's not a good situation right now. Energy prices are skyrocketing in Europe, and I know a lot of you guys have told me that. So it's an unfortunate thing, something we still need to be aware of and watch going forward. Now, of course, for those of us in the U.S., we still have to worry about our own problems. There will be another rate hike, and Fed Vice Chair Brainard vows to, raise rates as long as it takes to curb inflation, right? So we got our own issues in the U.S., but it does seem like our issues are mostly around inflation and curbing inflation. Energy prices are coming down. Supply chain issues are getting better. So overall, some of these inflation causing issues are starting to be resolved. So overall, that's a pretty good thing. Pretty good thing. Yeah, and what else happened today? Well, this has nothing to do with anything, but Apple just released their iPhone 14. I don't know how many of you guys are going to FOMO into an iPhone 14, but it seems like it's the same damn phone. There's a Pro and a Pro Max and a regular 14, and it looks exactly the same. Maybe there's a different color, but I mean, that's it. You know, I poked fun of this morning. It seems like Apple, they could just release anything, even the same thing, and still make a jagillion dollars worth of profit. So, yeah, that's still happening right now in the U.S. All right, now moving on to crypto. What is going on? Well, a lot of big things. First, Coinbase. Recently, MakerDAO said that they want to dump all their USDC because they were afraid that USDC is no longer decentralized, right? But the big problem is USDC makes up 35% of Maker, their DAI stablecoin. So there was talks how they wanted to dump it for Ethereum, right? Which is very, very risky because MakerDAO's DAI is algorithmic stablecoin. It's a collateralized stablecoin, but it uses many different, tokens to kind of stabilize the price. USDC is one of them, but if you replace it with something volatile like Ethereum, well, that's going to cause a depeg moment in the future for sure, right? So they don't know what to do. They want to dump it. But since USDC is partly owned by Coinbase or created by Coinbase, Coinbase is like, you know what? Rather than dump it, give it to us. We'll store it in our Prime custodian service, and then we'll give you interest. And the interest adds up to about $24 million a year. So rather than have to sell it, at least make $24 million a year. And that's exactly what they're doing, right? So it almost makes Coinbase seem desperate that, they're trying to preserve, this $1.6 billion from MakerDAO, right? It almost seems like that way, but I don't know. But this doesn't solve MakerDAO's complete, their total issue, right? Because they still own the USDC, even though they're making the interest. What are they going to do? Are they still going to get off of it eventually, or are they going to replace it with something else? We don't know at this point, right? So they are still stuck between a rock and a hard place, but at least they're going to make $24 million of interest. So that's good, or yield, I should say. So that's good. What else is there? El Salvador, of course, it's been 1 year since they adopted Bitcoin, and right around the corner, they will be releasing their Bitcoin bonds, which is going to be the very first in the world, right? So they are still moving forward, even though there's a lot of naysayers, including the IMF and World Bank and WEF. Everyone saying that, El Salvador made a huge, giant mistake by endorsing Bitcoin and legalizing it as legal tender. President Bukele is still moving forward. He believes in what Bitcoin could bring to not only his country, but to the world, right? So he's still moving forward. Bitcoin bonds could be around the corner. That could be very, very, very positive once it gets released. We still have a lot of Bitcoin miners that are purchasing a ton of Bitcoin mining machines, 10,000 in this case for $28 million. These miners, they're not going away. They are only strengthening the network, but also they are hoarding as much Bitcoin as they can because they know it's scarce, right? A lot of these miners, they don't sell any Bitcoin that they mine, right? All these newly fresh Bitcoin that gets released, from the block rewards, guess where they're going? They're going straight into wallets of these miners, and they're never hitting anywhere else. So that's exactly what's happening, and that's continuing forward. Okay, so now as for Ethereum and some of these other coins that we'll be seeing some massive upgrades. We know about Ethereum, right? I've been talking about Ethereum quite a lot, and this big merge and how I think it's going to be a big deal. And even today, I did say ETH dominance is starting to go up in a big way because there are still a lot of people excited about it, right? But if you're looking at, wallets, Wallets with 1,000 ETH or more indicates a bullish sentiment as merge approaches. You know why? Because these massive whales with over 1,000 ETH are stocking up massively, right? Because they believe the merge is going to bring great things to Ethereum. And I do also. I don't know, because with all this hype, there could be a case where there's like a dump after the merge. However, even so, I think it'll be short-lived and we may not even see it. But overall, ETH gets way, way, way more deflationary after the merge, and that is what's going to help drive it forward and upwards, right? So that is a major, major thing I've been hitting on. But it's not just the whales. What about just regular people holding more than 32 ETH, right? Continue its way up. Over 120,000 addresses hold 32 plus ETH. And why is 32 important? Because you need that much to be able to run a validator for the new beacon chain, which will be the new ETH chain after the merge. But you can see that number is skyrocketing right now too, right? So it's just a lot of people very excited about Ethereum. And a lot of exchanges like Binance, Binance.us, which is my favorite exchange in the US, they're offering yield. Just stake your Ether on Binance.us and earn 6% yield, which is really, really, really high. Really high. But basically what they're doing is passing on the yield, right? They're basically taking the crypto within their exchange, designated for staking. They stake it, they collect the rewards and pass it on. That's all they're doing, right? But it just makes it easier if you have a whole bunch of ETH on Binance.us already. Very easy to do, right? But they're jumping in the game, and it's not just them. Many, many, many other exchanges are also offering this, but Binance.us is offering. I don't think there's any other US-based exchange that's offering. No, I take that back. Coinbase is, but Coinbase is doing a little differently. They want to give you a synthetic token in return. You'll still get a yield, but I don't know if it's high as 6%. But yeah, there's a lot that's out there. All right, now, outside of Ethereum, what else is there? Well, the other major one, and I have talked about it too, is of course Cardano, which has not been moving yet, which makes me think they may be a prime target to be moving soon, right? Because right now all eyes are on Ethereum, but people forget the Vasil hard fork, which is a major upgrade for Cardano, a major upgrade, not just a small upgrade, a really major upgrade, is coming right afterwards. The ETH merge is like the 13th to 15th, but 22nd, just 1 week after, that's when you have the Vasil hard fork, which will make Cardano a lot more efficient, faster, and this will definitely help their DEX and DeFi ecosystem, right? So something to pay attention to as well, because Cardano has not been moving, but could be their turn soon. So that is definitely another one to keep your eye on, and I have made videos about it. So not really surprised, but there are a few other projects that I want to talk about that are surprises. For example, EOS. Who doesn't love EOS? I didn't. I always said stay away from EOS. They have a lot of problems. Didn't really solve any of their collusion issues, and they were associated with Block One, who really basically didn't do much. Dan Larimer, was promising big things, The Voice, social app, and then he was going to do other things. Then he was going to quit and came back. All this stuff, right? I guess EOS, the people, took charge and said, screw it. They are getting away from Block One. They're going to rename themselves Antelope, and this big change, this new upgrade or fork is going to happen in about a couple weeks, right? Which is why EOS today actually went up a good amount, like almost 20%. So this will be exciting. They are ditching Block One. They're actually fighting Block One because Block One raised $4 billion through their year-long ICO. Where did the funds go? Probably still in Block One's wallet, right? Shouldn't it go to the EOS or EOS's new DAO, right? They are going to come out with the new DAO. It's going to be a centralized DAO, though, which is interesting because there's leaders that's controlling the DAO. But still, there will be voting going on. But, that should be given to the new DAO. But anyways, there's a whole bunch out there. They're basically making Codebase. They're sharing it with 4 other projects like Wax and Telos. And I forgot the 2 others, right? And it's going to be more efficient. It's going to be EVM compatible now. It's not just based on their own proof of stake, code. They are going to be EVM compatible. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening. So I have to pay attention to them because EOS had a tremendous year in 2017. 2018, they had a pretty good year. And then 2019, 2020, and 2021, basically just everyone forgot about them. But they are looking to come back in a big way. So good for them. Another project that some of you guys know of, Algorand. Algorand is also going through an upgrade, okay, which will increase their speed. They're already pretty fast, as far as I know. I think they handle about 1,000 transactions per second, but they are doing an upgrade that's going to increase it up to about 6,000 transactions per second. So obviously a big jump. And this upgrade will also bring cross-chain transaction capability. So Algorand, obviously one of the bigger L1s, but they're also upgrading themselves, right? They had a little controversy. They're like CTO, CEO left, right? But there's still plenty of plenty of people that support Algorand. They have a big FIFA partnership as well. And, overall, they're definitely moving forward. So pretty good. Oh, I forgot too. They also introduced something called state proofs, right? And that's going to be a big thing. Basically, it's like a smarter version of a smart contract. It's a more efficient and smarter way to handle contracts. So that's why they're increasing transactions. So it's a pretty big upgrade for Algorand as well. And lastly, I don't know why this is a surprise, but a lot of people have been asking me about, what do you think about Helium? Helium, it keeps going down and down and down and down, right? They already announced before they were moving to Solana. But the thing is, I think people didn't like the fact that they made this move. They decided to make this move without really consulting anyone. And also, I think people were afraid of what's going to happen because Helium had their own chain, right? And they had validators, they had miners, right? It was a good setup. So now people are like, whoa, what's going on when we move to Solana, right? So basically, there's this big blog post about what's coming, right? Right now, Helium is still operational within 182 countries, almost 1 million hotspots that are mining, that are providing basically a low mesh network or 5G. They're in both. And they basically clarified that both of these tokens, HNT and the new mobile token, they are not going to go away, even though they're moving to Solana. But by moving to Solana, their developers no longer have to support the chain, right? They let Solana worry about that so they could concentrate on other things. So they kind of just, explained what's going to happen. Mobile tokens could be redeemed for HNT tokens, right? HNT will still be used for many aspects within the ecosystem. So you're not going, if you're staking, you're not going to get SOL, for example, in return. You're still going to get HNT and all these other stuff about how there will be more rewards going to the miners, and all this stuff, right? So I don't know. Somehow after this was posted and some clarification came out, like today, Helium went up like 40-something%, like out of the blue. So, I mean, it should have never gone down that much in the first place, but I guess people were just so fearful about it. And then now there's a good recovery, right? But obviously not all the way back up, but it's something. So it's a big upgrade for Helium to move to Solana rather than support their own chain. You don't hear about this a lot. Most projects are either already on an L1 or they just support their chain forever. You don't see them make the move that often. So that's another project. Keep your eye on. I've always liked Helium. Just didn't really understand why they wanted to make the move. I guess just kind of clarified that. All right, guys. That is pretty much it overall. We got a decent recovery day today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. If we're going to continue on, let's see if we can get back to 20,000 for Bitcoin. That is what I'm looking forward to, right? But in the meantime, ETH and many others, they continue to gain strength. And overall, that's a pretty good thing. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. Man, I have to drink a Red Bull tonight because I am so tired. I had to do some garden work. It's tough. Oh, it's DCA Wednesday. It is DCA Wednesday. And I know that because I already have it pulled up. So this week and last week is about the same. Maybe a little bit lower, but no, I think it was about the same. So this week, I think my portfolio really got carried because of the altcoins and because of Ethereum, right? So that's pretty good. So what should I DCA into this week? Well, I just got done talking about some of these projects that are upgrading, right? Like I don't have EOS in this portfolio. I don't really have a lot of Algorand in this portfolio. Do I have a lot of Cardano? I do have a lot of Cardano. I don't have Helium in this portfolio, I don't think. No. You know what? This week I'm going to spread it out a little bit. Wait, do I don't have Algorand in here? Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm just going to. I can't buy Helium after it's up like 40-something%. But you know what? What's happening with EOS sounds kind of interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put $100 into EOS. I'll see what happens with them. Because if they're moving, they're rebranding, and if they shed all the aftertaste, the bad taste from Block 1, and after they get renamed to Antelope, which I don't know if it's a really good name or not, but fresh start could do them some good. So let's just do $100 divided by 1.6. Is that right? So that's it's about 60. All right. Yeah, I know that's a wild card, but you know what? What the heck? Give it a shot. I think I have a good amount of, based on the total, got a good amount of ETH and a lot of big ones, obviously, right? Cosmos been showing a lot of strength recently. Could have DC'd more into Cosmos. Cosmos is showing a lot of strength, so that's good. Cardano, like I said, hasn't moved, so that could be a good candidate before their Vasil fork. I have a feeling it's going to move before Vasil, but hasn't yet. And then, there's still other ones in here. But, I want to give EOS a shot because I've been very negative towards them over the years. But maybe this is their time to shine. All right, that's it. Is Harmony a good buy? 10x? No. First of all, don't use leverage. Second of all, I'm really neutral on Harmony. I don't know. They gotta do some magic and draw on more dApps, a lot of dApps. Their biggest one, DeFi Kingdoms, is leaving, so they have 100 million hold they have to patch too. Joel Almas, can you talk what Helium's move means for Solana? That says a lot. That Solana was their ecosystem of choice. Definitely makes me more bullish on Solana. It doesn't make me more bullish on Solana. We know they chose Solana because, first of all, it's fast. Second of all, there's a lot of investors in Solana that's also investors in Helium, so that kind of probably pushed them that way. But as for what it means, go read through the blog. The blog has a lot more that I cover some, but there's a lot more in terms of what's going to happen with the new tokens or the existing tokens, how they're going to operate, the new reward system, and there's a lot more to it. So check it out. Let's see. Thoughts on Hunt for Crypto King documentary on Netflix? I have no idea. I don't watch anything on Netflix, so I never even heard of that before. Let's see. Integra Expo. I appreciate it, man. What kind of music do I listen to? You know what? I grew up with a lot of alternative, so I still rant when I'm like at the gym or something. I pull up some of the old songs from the 90s and 2000s. Yeah, as strange as that sounds, and then just like whatever top hits are today. I don't really have any musicians that I really dig. It's just whatever I like. I used to like Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I like Green Day. I forgot who else. There's a lot of the guys. I don't even know anymore. Coldplay is always good. I mean, uh, yeah, when I was younger, I really liked Nirvana, but yeah. You should watch the And One documentary with the professor. I still watch some of his stuff on YouTube. I used to when he's balling, but it is getting old now because he just defeats everyone. Yeah, Deftones, Slipknot, Stone Temple Pilots. You guys are bringing back a lot of good memories. Um, Creed. I love Creed. I really love Creed. What about reggae? No, I'm not into reggae. Sorry. Have you ever done differential equations? It sounds familiar, maybe in college. I don't know what the hell differential equations are. Should I know what it is? It sounds familiar. By the way, today I met two random people. One this morning I was coming out of a restaurant. He caught me by surprise, so I didn't chat with him too much. I didn't catch his name. If you're watching, you know who you are. I apologize for being in a rush. So it was nice to meet you. And then I met someone's wife at Costco. I think his name is Mark, and he is a dentist, and I actually recorded a message for him. But I thought this was funny because when I was recording the message, and I caught myself, but I said it anyways. I'm like, "Hey, Mark, I'm at Costco with your wife filming this," and I thought about it. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But anyways, and Mark, if you're watching, hello. Um, when you think of cryptocurrency, you have to think how it will be used. Think of it as internet of 90s, the coins, the best technology. Yeah, I mean, exactly, Charles. That's what altcoins are. Basically, right now we're in an infancy of like Web 3.0, just like when the internet was coming up in the 90s. No one really knew. Everyone was speculating. There was some uses, but no one really knew what it would evolve to. Not like today, right? So in another 10, 20 years, Web 3.0 will evolve to something else. But that's why we speculate and pick up the ones today because they could be the big powerhouses of tomorrow. Puddle of Mud, I love it. I like them. And better than that, Ezra. Yeah, I do like them too. How many wives do I have? Officially, just one. TM says, great review on the Lightning. It's the first pickup truck that I ever wanted to own. Thank you. Too bad 4 dealerships are marking them up like crazy, but if you could get one for MSRP, I mean, the Pro one, is the top ones are very expensive, but if you get the Pro one, it's in the 40s, right? And even though you don't get all the features and stuff, it's just an amazing truck. Now, I will say that a lot of people say, well, you can't tow with the Lightning. Well, it could be true. If you're like if you need to tow a boat around or a trailer around all the time, then probably it's not the right truck for you. But they built a Lightning for people that pretty much use their trucks as a daily driver. And that's it, you know. So as a daily driver, man, the Lightning is basically the best truck ever. Although the only 2 trucks that could beat it, the Hummer EV and the Rivians, I have not tested, but both cost way more than Lightning anyways. They're not even the same price range. Joshua says he misses Gina's laugh on that XRP educational video. So I'll have to play that tonight. Any potential short squeeze with ETH, ADA, BTC? There's always potential. Seeing how low we are, of course, a short squeeze potential can happen. We just need some buying. We need some buying to drive things up, and we'll definitely see some short squeezes. Hummer EV, the heaviest truck ever made and the most expensive. At least dealerships, I mean, they're charging like $230,000. I mean, it's insane how much they're charging for the Hummer EV. It's not even that good, but you know, because of the situation we're in now, they get to charge whatever they want. DXY losing momentum. Crypto King says, I hope so. You know, this morning I showcased it. Keeps going up. Keeps going up. I don't know if it's going to fall down. No, I'm not watching Rings of Power. I have no desire to watch that. I totally forgot everything that went on in Lord of the Rings, so I don't care to relive that. Any special guests on my show soon? I've been sending an invite to Brad Garlinghouse for a long time. But, you know, he responded saying that he was not a fan of my educational videos. So he cannot come on the show until I promise that I won't be playing it while speaking to him. So, and I said I can't make that promise. So he has been turning me down right now. So maybe that'll happen in the future. Also, I've been talking with Charlie Lee too. And Charlie Lee says, you know, I'll only come on if you won't bash Litecoin. And I said, I can't make that promise either. So that's in the works too. Bullish on Algorand? Not really. I'm more neutral on Algorand at this point. I have not been keeping up with House of Dragon. I watched the first episode, didn't watch the second or the third. Eventually I'll watch it, but I'm not really into it right now. So I don't know. I'm not into Harry Potter. That's one series I've never gotten into. Jeff, hey, appreciate it, man. Do you hold Immutable X? If so, no, I don't. Immutable X is interesting. You know, layer 2. A lot of competition. I don't hold any. As for layer 2s, I just stick with Polygon. Jenny, you're up in Wisconsin. I asked you this before, Jenny. I used to go to high school with a girl named Jenny Lee. I don't know if it's you. It'll be a small world if it is, but I don't know if it is. George, how do you keep motivated? In what way? In life? With a marriage? With the kids? With YouTube? You gotta specify. I have my system. Thoughts on Sandbox? The season 3 is out. So, and there are still a lot of brands moving to Sandbox. And right now with the market, with the weak market, you're not going to see a lot of traction with Sandbox. But when things get hot again, and when we all have a chip in our heads and we can transfer our consciousness into the metaverse, Sandbox will be absolutely huge then. Thoughts on Theta? I like Theta. Overall, they're trying to be a decentralized streaming platform. Could one day challenge YouTube, maybe, but still very early. But they want to expand upon their NFT, I guess, market right now, right? They're kind of falling away from their decentralized streaming. I know they have like Theta TV already, but not many people use them. So they should really push hard to try to grow that rather than try to go after an NFT market, in my opinion. And in your opinion, what do you have to see to say, okay, that's enough bleeding for crypto? You mean like for me to just completely give in and sell off everything? It's going to take a lot. I'll say it's going to take a lot. Even if Bitcoin falls below 10,000, right? I would be, because I have cash saved up. I've been telling you guys it's important to have about, 25, 30% of your portfolio in cash. So even if Bitcoin fell below 10,000, what I would be doing is taking that 30% and just buying like crazy. I mean, I don't know at what point. I don't think it's realistic, and I don't think we'll ever see it again. But let's say Bitcoin fell below 4,000, went to 3,800 like it did in 2020, right? Even then, I would be mass buying because I just refuse to believe that Bitcoin is not going places and not heading higher and not forming a new high. I just don't believe it. I've seen enough and I know enough to know that it will come regardless of what happens near term. So I don't know, Dr. Oz. I'm being completely honest. Even if Bitcoin fell down to $3,000 in next month, 2 months from now, I'll be DCing like crazy. That's all I'll be doing. I'll be DCing like crazy, and I'll be telling you guys to DCA as well. The chat probably would be dead because everyone would have sold out by then, but maybe some of you guys would still be around, and I would tell you guys to DCA. Rich, I used to motivate myself by doing a lot of gardening. At one point in time, I really liked gardening, and then I just grew out of it. I would buy for Lightning right now if they had one for MSRP. I would do it. I would do it. I love the Lightning that much. I would drive that every day. I'd trade in my Tesla for it. I don't know. The Ford Lightning is so impressive. I don't know if the Cybertruck is going to be more impressive. Cybertruck will be faster, that's for sure, but will it be more comfortable? I don't know. Every Tesla I've driven so far is not that comfortable and not that quiet. It has great technology for sure. It's very fast for sure, but fit and finish, overall build quality, both lacking. As for road comfort, lacking. Quietness, especially on highways, lacking. There's a lot of things lacking for Tesla. But Ford Lightning solves all those issues. You drive around Ford Lightning, you feel like you're riding around in a Bentley. It's that comfortable, and it feels great too while you're while you're actually driving. Like, you know, the steering feels good, throttle feels good, overall extremely quiet. It's nice and big, comfortable, makes you feel like you could drive people off the road. Do you have full self-driving? No, I'm still waiting for that beta. Supposedly, Elon said everyone will get it by the end of the year, but I don't know if that's true. I've been waiting for that for a long time. The only reason why to pay for FSD is it helps your car appreciate, because you can't transfer it. It sticks with your car. And if you buy it at, let's say, 10,000 and it's now 15,000, well, you just added 5,000 to your car. That's the only reason why you should get FSD. But it's been a big false promise so far. Why did you trade your Tesla to get another Tesla? So I had a Model Y. It's a really good car. And then, you know, the Model S Plaid came out. I'm like, I'm going to get the fastest car in the world. So I sold my Model Y to my friend, then picked up the Plaid. And then it's really fast, extremely fast. Anytime you floor it, it's just so fast, it hurts your head. But I got used to SUVs. I don't like sitting so low to the ground. Every time I get in and out, I get a headache. Like, I just didn't like it. So I traded that in for a Model X Plaid, which to me is a lot more comfortable. It feels more comfortable, and it's bigger, but it's not that fast compared to an S Plaid. Compared to every other car on the planet, it's faster. So. Change your lifestyle if you're getting a headache. That's because you haven't driven a Plaid yet. Go drive a Model S Plaid daily. You'll get a headache too. Get the 392 Jeep. I'm not a fan of Wranglers. I don't think the 392. I have driven the plug-in hybrid Wrangler, and I thought that was pretty good. But a regular Wrangler, especially the Rubicons, the steering is so sloppy when you're driving. It's like when you hit a bump, it like starts swerving. Like, I don't know why the steering is so sloppy on a Rubicon. Maybe because they did it on purpose so that you get maximum wheel articulation or something. But it seems like it's broken. Like something's wrong with it. I don't like sloppy stuff. That's right, layer 2. All right. This chat's been fun. Can confirm Wrangler Unlimited suck. You know what? They look so cool, though. You know, it's like, it's the one car, no matter what your wealth status is, you look cool driving. You put some 35s, 37s on a Rubicon or a Wrangler Unlimited, you know, 4-door one, you drive down anywhere. It looks damn cool, right? But driving one isn't cool. You just look cool, but it doesn't feel cool. That's why I say I prefer the Bronco. The Bronco drives so much better. The Bronco looks pretty damn good too. You could throw some, you know, 37-inch tires on there. It'll look damn cool too. But again, you can't find Broncos, so that's the problem. I feel like I should just have a live chat outside of CryptosRUs and put it on drivers only or something. This seems like a lot of car chat. I should just do like, you know, I periodically do a live chat on my drivers only channel. Help it gain some views. it's hard getting views for car reviews right now because no one can get one and no one wants to pay. Yeah, I mean, here's a story for you. My brother-in-law just went to Toyota, a Toyota dealership that I used to film for. I would borrow cars from them. So I know the GM, the sales manager. He was trying to get a RAV4. I don't know what trim. And he calls me up. He's like, I'm talking to the salesperson. And they want $6,000 over MSRP for RAV4. For RAV4. And it pushed it into the 50s. I'm like, come on. And even after talking to the sales manager, they're like, yeah, there's nothing we could do because demand is so hot. We just, they could charge whatever they want for it. I'm like, this is for a RAV4. But anyways, that's it kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. To sum up, got a good recovery today, so that's good. A lot of projects having major upgrades soon, so pay attention to them. I DCA'd today, and ETH dominance continues to go up, so don't ignore ETH. The merge is coming. Merge is coming. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Go to CryptosRUs for your latest news, article, and guides. If you're a car guy, go check out Drivers Only, my other channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.